So I just want to talk about the state of the current wide receiver market right now. Obviously, St. Brown just became the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, so he's really kind of broke off a new ceiling for the wide receiver market. And, the whole Aiyuk Debo Samuel thing that came out recently is pretty interesting. So there's a lot of movement going on with wide receivers right now and their bags. So most recently, AJ Brown signed a 3-year extension worth $96 million. I think this is a good move. Obviously, they re-signed Devontae Smith a couple weeks ago too. So good news if you're a Phillies fan. Getting your two receivers locked and loaded for the next 3 years. That's what you want to hear. The Phillies window is still wide open to compete to win a bowl, so it's definitely good news if you're a Phillies fan. It's an $84 million guarantee contract. He's just been a beast since being in Philly, and even on the Titans, he was pretty good. One of the worst trades ever, trading AJ Brown to the Eagles, but over the last 2 years, Brown has 2,952 yards with 18 touchdowns, securing second team All-Pro in both years. I mean, for a little while, like through the halfway point of the year last year, some people were talking about AJ Brown being the MVP of the league. He was up there with Tyreek Hill. That's how good he was. He kind of cooled down near the tail end of last year, but he's just a freak, man. He's just a freak, and just one of the best, man. In his total NFL career so far, he has 5,947 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 77 career games. So, honestly, if he keeps this pace up and he stays off the injury report, because that kind of hampered him a little bit with the tight ends, if he continues this trajectory, man, he could easily be on his way to Canton. Easily. That's how special and that's how good he is. So, good for AJ Brown, good for Philly fans, good for the Eagles. Just want to take one quick second to talk about the Eagles too. They're in a huge year. This is a huge year. Huge year for the Eagles. Sirianni's job is on the line, in my opinion. Jalen Hurts is a question mark. He's got to live up to that contract this year, man. Saquon Barkley is an Eagle. Nuts. But they should be competitive. They're definitely an interesting, polarizing team, fan base, city. So we'll see what happens. Let me know how good you think the Eagles are going to be this year, because I could see a lot of possibilities. I could see another wildcard exit. I could see second round exit. Anything under a second round exit, in my opinion, is a failure, and I think Sirianni should be fired. The roster is pretty good defensively. Lost some pieces, and I know Kelsey kind of dipped too, but man, it still has some elite foundation pieces. So in my opinion, there's no excuse to at least make it to the second round of the playoffs. So let me know what y'all think. Now, I want to talk about the 49ers. Right before the draft started, there was a report indicating that the Niners were not only shopping Aiyuk, but also shopping Debo Samuel to apparently move up in the draft to probably draft a wide receiver. Yeah, they probably wanted one of the top guys, but they just got no traction. Apparently the Patriots checked in with Debo Samuel. Thing about Debo Samuel, I think the move is to definitely trade him. I know he's electric. I know he's a fan favorite. I know he's a beast. He really is a beast. He's a fun player to watch, man, but there's a lot of tread on those tires, and he's already pretty injury prone. I just don't know how much more he has left in the tank. I'd say he has 2 years tops of being kind of like this elite gadget player that can do it all, because there's just a lot of tread on the tire, and he's taken a lot of hits and a lot of damage over the years, but we'll see what happens. So far, nothing has happened, which is pretty interesting. I'm recording this right before the third day of the draft is about to begin. So who knows? Aiyuk, Debo could be traded. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them are traded soon because, man, like the 49ers are in a tough position. Again, the St. Brown contract kind of really screwed things up and made things complicated for a lot of teams right now. And that's why it's very interesting to be a receiver that wants to get paid because, St. Brown is a good receiver, but should he be the highest paid receiver in the NFL right now? I'd say probably no. He should be a top 10 highest paid receiver in the NFL right now, but number one, hell no, bro. Hell no. So if you're Aiyuk and you're a part of Aiyuk's camp, man, your arms are crossed and you're just like sitting there looking at John Lynch because, like, that's what St. Brown got, and like, you guys won't pay me this. It's kind of like, screw you. Like, I want even more now. Like, whatever the contract talks were prior to St. Brown's contract, it's gotten even probably worse now. Like, I don't know. I would just trade him, and just because they gotta pay Brock Purdy soon. Like, unless something crazy happens this year, like, they gotta pay Brock Purdy soon. There's other defensive players that they have to pay, so times are definitely tricky for the Niners right now, and I feel like their window is rapidly closing. I think they're gonna be in a Super Bowl contention for another 2 years max. Other than that, I think they kind of need to retool a little bit because, people got to get paid. People are getting older on that team. Their window's been open for a long time, and they just haven't done it. I don't know if they will. I really don't think they will, unless someone comes out of the AOC and there's like a Mahomes injury or something. Not only that, but the Niners recently drafted Ricky Pearsall. Not only that, but the Niners drafted Ricky Pearsall with the 31st overall pick. I don't know much about him. I didn't watch the Florida Gators last year, but honestly, through the tape, he looks pretty good. And I don't really think you need 3 starting caliber wide receivers on your NFL team. And Debo needs a contract too, so I don't know. The 49ers are just like in a weird place right now, and they got to make some things happen. Let me know what y'all think they should do. Who should they trade? Aiyuk, Debo, who should they pay? I really think they should just trade Aiyuk because the contract's going to be way too big. It's just going to screw them up because other dudes need to get paid, but we'll see. So let me know what y'all think. Very interesting time right now. That's all I got right now. Peace.
Just into the second quarter, and the pressure now on the defense.